Hello and welcome to Hibs TV and to Easter Road for a historic night for Scottish football, with Hibs under the spotlight in more ways than one. Not only does Friday night football return to Leith, but tonight marks the introduction of VAR in the Scottish domestic game. A whole new world awaits. And on top of that, it's a sellout here, meaning we'll have the most Hibs fans inside Easter Road in 33 years. A special night ahead, but don't worry, if you can't make it, then you can stay with us right here on Hibs TV, with the game available via pay-per-view wherever you are in the world. It's Hibernian versus St Johnstone, with kickoff at 7:30 p.m. And I am delighted today to be joined by Hibs women captain Joelle Murray. Joelle, it's going to be a really special evening, isn't it?
It certainly is, and like you said, for more ways than one, the stage is set for the boys to go out and perform. Yeah,
it feels like around the club, on social media as well, there's a real buzz around the place.
There certainly is. I think the Football for a Fiver initiative, I mean, the numbers, the attendance that will be here tonight speaks for itself. So there is a fantastic buzz from the fans within, from the staff base. And as I say, the stage is set, and we're all very much looking forward to tonight's game.
Yeah, it's quite an achievement, isn't it? I said it in the opening titles just then, but to have the most Hibernian FC fans inside Easter Road in 33 years, on a trial of Friday night football as well, shows that it has a place in the game.
Absolutely, there's certainly an appetite there. Friday night football, the club wanted to do something different, and it's so far proven a success given the numbers that will be in attendance tonight. So certainly an appetite there, and like I said, just looking forward to 7:30 when the boys make that kind of step out onto the pitch.
Absolutely, and VAR will be in action as well. It's not on the big screens behind us right now, but it has been tested in the build-up to this game. Are you a fan?
I am when it's a decision that goes for us, or for the team that I support. So I think so. I think it's been a long time coming, Adam. I think it will of course provide that clarity that we want in the Scottish game. We've been on the receiving end of a lot of kind of dubious decisions, more so recently the one up at Tannadice. So I think it's been a long time coming, and there are pros and cons for it. But for me, it's certainly a welcome addition to the game.
Yeah, VAR has certainly been a big talking point, not only in England, down south where it's been for a little bit of time, but all over Europe. What do you think, or how long do you think it would take for it to be a success in Scotland? Because there will probably be a grace period where these kind of little tweaks just get sorted out.
Yeah, of course, like anything, there'll be teething problems, of course there will be, but I think you see now down south, the players, the kind of coaches, the supporters are now accustomed to it and the way it works. So I'd like to think that after a few weeks of implementing it, we'll all be used to it, and it'll just become something that's natural.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure Scottish football fans will have watched football across Europe where VAR has been utilised. You can see it on the screens behind us now as well. Let's have a quick look and a little bit of a reminder to see how it works.
The introduction of video assistant referees to Scottish football is to assist on-field referees. There are 4 match-changing situations that VAR can be used for. The first criteria for VAR involvement is straight red cards. VAR will be used to assist the referee in the case of straight red card incidents, not yellow cards and nor second yellow cards. VAR can only assist in the case of straight red card incidents. The second criteria is penalty decisions. The role of the VAR is to assist the referee in conjunction with the award or non-award of a penalty kick. This includes play in the immediate lead up to the award of a penalty. The third criteria is goals. The role of VAR is to assist the referee to determine whether a goal should or should not be awarded. This includes play in the immediate lead up to the award of a goal. The fourth and final criteria for VAR intervention is mistaken identity. Should the situation occur where the referee cautions or sends off the wrong player, or is unsure which player should be sanctioned, the VARs will inform the referee so the situation can be reviewed before the player exits the field of play. If an incident is not one of the 4 mentioned so far, VAR cannot intervene. VAR will not get involved in the award of corner kicks, throw-ins or yellow card offences unless the VAR thinks the yellow card should have been a red. VARs can only recommend action to the on-field referee, who will still make the final decision.
Well, you could see it there, Joelle, the talk through how VAR is going to work this evening. As a player yourself, if VAR was in action, would you find yourself doing anything differently?
It's hard to say, given I'm not in the situation, but I'd like to think that the players are preparing for the game as they normally do, and I'd like to think that it won't impact their preparation or the way that they play the game on the pitch, because that's the last thing that you want to do. So hopefully the impact to our performance isn't anything at all, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I caught up with Lee Johnson, our manager, ahead of this one, and he discussed VAR at length and said whether his players should be looking at doing anything differently in this one. I can imagine now, after being with the fans, spending a bit of time with them and training out on the pitch, obviously too, there's a real buzz and excitement ahead of Friday evening.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, Saturday's now gone and we move forward to Friday. It's a game that we really want to win for a number of reasons. It's got that historic element with the VAR and the first game in Scottish football to be under those circumstances, and not only that, I think there's a bit of a capacity crowd coming in, a few little entertainment surprises here and there, and it's something that we're obviously focused on getting the result and the performance, but we want to be a part of the good vibe that can be Friday night.
Yeah, let's speak about VAR then. How will that change things for you and the players on Friday night?
It's going to be interesting, and it will be different. You know, we've got to make sure that we're vigilant, we see everything through in an attacking sense, we defend everything to the end, and that we're very careful with any off the ball scenarios, whether it be blocking from corners or tackles. You got to be careful. We don't want to not be full-blooded, you know what I mean, but you've got to make sure that the ball's there to be won, and not get it wrong, because when you slow it down it often looks worse than it is in real time.
Have you had to do anything differently in the build-up, knowing that VAR's come in terms of coaching the players, like you say, in terms of the blocking in particular?
Yeah, it's definitely something that we've discussed. Obviously it was a relatively late shout in terms of that the VAR was coming in for this particular game, so we've only had 3 or 4 training sessions, but previously we started to implement the fact that strikers go and finish even if they're offside, defenders try and recover, if there's any handball or anything that looks precarious before a goal scored, we'll question it and potentially pull it back. We've got some new IP cameras being put into the training ground, which is great because that can then get a live feed, and we could take a little telly out pitch side and start to do our own versions of that. So that it will be a very different game than we've experienced here before, but what we don't want to do is lose the flow and lose the passion, and that's the challenge, not just for us but for the officiating team.
Yeah, absolutely, and one game obviously this season where there was a lot of passion was the end of the opening day of the season when we beat St Johnstone. Have they changed much since that game?
No, I think they've obviously improved, like all the teams have, in terms of working with each other, and they've picked up some good wins and good points, good results. They've got an abundance of players now up to sort of match speed, but as has everybody else. So I think it's a game that is a tough game, of course, but it's a game that we need full focus on ourselves and our own qualities, and to think about what we have got rather than what we haven't got, if you know what I mean, and that's certainly the way I'll be picking the team.
Yeah, and also obviously we're looking to continue our unbeaten run at home too. Being here, like you say, where there's a little bit of excitement around the game, a sold out crowd at Easter Road, again just kind of spur the lads on, won't it?
Yeah, we hope so, and it's not a pressure for us, that bit's the privilege, to be able to have sell-out crowds is exactly what we wanted. I know there's a bit of a special offer on, and that's great, but that special offer's there to maximise. We want these supporters and fan base to come back and be with us because they trust that, like I say, the product on the pitch is going to be full-blooded, and we do everything we can to get the result.
Well, Joelle, we heard from Lee Johnson just then, and I'm sure he could and you could talk about VAR for the whole show, but we'll move things on to St Johnstone and today's game. Obviously we come into this one in some difficult form, obviously not the results we wanted in the last 2 games. How much do you think that will have affected the players, the squad and the preparation for this one?
Yeah, I think the players will be looking to bounce back as a player, especially after a defeat. You're always looking for that next game, and tonight is the night for that. And they'll be looking to bounce back from last weekend. Lee Johnson was very kind of vocal in his full stop meeting. I think Josh Campbell mentioned it as well, and they've kind of addressed it and moved on. And hopefully we can pick up the points again tonight and continue the winning streak here that we have at Easter Road.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of that winning streak at Easter Road, an unbeaten streak as well, which stretches all the way back to February. I suppose when the players come here, it'll be like a weight off their shoulders, won't it? They'll be playing with a lot of freedom, looking to extend that.
Yeah, of course, and I think that run shows that the players really enjoy playing here. It's their home, of course it is, and we want to make Easter Road a fortress, and we've done that. I think it's potentially 11 games stretching back to February, so we'll be looking to add to that tonight and get back to winning ways and pick up the 3 points hopefully.
Yeah, and if you put those last 2 results to one side as well, it's actually been a fairly good start to the season, hasn't it? Still third, obviously, in what is a very tight league table, but some really good points gained, especially here at home.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been for me a really good, a really positive start to the season. Lee Johnson mentioned at the beginning of the season that the squad potentially might not come good until the end of September, October, and we're now seeing the fruits of all that kind of hard work at the start of the season. So yeah, of course, we're looking to continue that run, put in a positive performance, and hopefully we see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll head to a short commercial break now, but stay with us because we'll be hearing from Josh Campbell and checking out the last game that we had here, our win over Motherwell.
Good work here. Martin Boyle is through. Chance for Boyle. Can he get a shot away? He does. Listen, the way things are going for Ryan Porteous at the moment, that's about all he's not done. And who knows? Hits it. Oof. Certainly plenty of pace in it. Right down the throat blow of Liam Kelly. Yep. Certainly it was on target. Goes for the byline. It's back, gets his Miley. Oh no, it's a good effort. He's unlucky there. It's a lovely ball. Johan tries to play it through, still on yet. Oh, Martin Boyle. Was Martin Boyle caught by Josh Campbell there?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's got to be a red card, I think, surely. Yes, out comes the red card. Motherwell down to 10 men. Far side again from Boyle. Goes to the byline, whips it over. Chance here for Porteous. It's in the net from Ryan Porteous. Mudded beyond the goalkeeper into the back of the net. He took a sore one in doing so.
Not the nicest of feelings.
That's a great
save.
Cross from nothing. Motherwell with a chance here. Porteous clears it and is caught by Penny on the edge of the penalty area. The full-time whistle goes and Hibs have the 3 points here at Easter Road.
Simplexity Travel is made up of some of London's leading bespoke travel managers. Simplexity specialise in luxury travel services for corporate and private clients, groups and individuals who lead busy lives. Simplexity will simplify challenging schedules and complex trip itineraries, ensuring our clients always travel with complete peace of mind and in perfect luxury. Simplexity Travel, making luxury travel simple.
Welcome back here to Hibs TV as we continue our build-up to tonight's special game against St Johnstone. Lee Johnson's side will be looking to make it 6 points out of 6 against the side from Perth after a Josh Campbell last-minute strike saw us take all 3 points on the opening day against them of the season. Well, my colleague Gavin Rittu, he caught up with Josh ahead of this one.
Joelle goes out to this near touchline. Lovely ball back to him from Henderson. Chance here for Hibs. Kenna has a good effort. Cabrera plays the ball in.
Go.
Chance here. Oh, Ewan Henderson it was, coming in at the back post. It's Kenna. Neil now striding forward again. It's a lovely
Great
ball for
ball.
Jar Tavares as well. Inside the area. Tavares. Oh, he's done everything right. No, Kenna tried to play it into the box. Blocked by St Johnstone defender. Cabrera has it for Hibs. Just to find Alex Melkerson. Oh, it's a shocker of a challenge from Murray Davidson. He got there as quick as he could. That's a tour challenge. It's a straight red. Murray Davidson off the park. He drops into that little pocket. Gets the shot away. David Marshall has to be full stretched down to his left hand side to palm that one wide for a corner, and he's furious that that's Henderson to deliver Mark 2. Comes right footed. He's ball. Yes. It's in the net. Hibs have the goal. It's Josh Campbell at the back post. A fabulous delivery from Ewan Henderson. Josh Campbell got the head on it. Matthews, the St Johnstone keeper, I think got a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. And Hibs have the lead in the 89th minute.
Josh, just finished the open training session here at Easter Road. How was that for you?
Yeah, it was good. It's good to have the fans in the stadium to watch us train, and they can get that connection with the players and they can see what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, last week then, obviously a difficult week for the club. What's the reaction been like in training then?
It's been a very good reaction, I think. Everyone came together, we spoke about the game, and it was a very disappointing day for us as players and most importantly for the fans, but I think we put it behind us now and we moved on.
What's the message then this week to make sure that we get a reaction and get a result against St Johnstone?
Yeah, get a good reaction for a good crowd at home under the lights on a big night with VAR.
Yeah, you mentioned VAR will be the first time that it's used in the cinch Premiership. What's your thoughts on the new technology? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's good that it's came to Scottish football, slowly catching up with the rest of the world, so I think it'll be a positive for us.
How do you think it will impact your game?
We'll have to see. I might have to watch what I'm doing a bit closely.
And just finally, you mentioned the crowd at Friday Night Football returns to Easter Road. How much are you looking forward to playing in front of a full house here on Friday?
Yeah, buzzing, I can't wait. Hopefully we can put on a good show for the fans and get those 3 points.
Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot, Josh.
Joelle, we heard from Josh Campbell just then. He's had a stellar start to the season, hasn't he? 5 goals in all competitions.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh will be delighted with the start to his season and think he's probably one of the first names on Lee Johnston's team sheet, given how versatile he is, reliable he is, and he's now coupled that with goals. So he'll be delighted with how he started the season.
Yeah, you can really see a confidence in himself now as well, which potentially he might have lacked towards the end of last season.
Yeah, of course, and that's probably come down to being given a bit more responsibility on the pitch, and you can see that there is a trust there, not only from the manager but from his teammates as well. They really trust Josh, and he kind of reciprocates that.
Yeah, well, let's have a quick look at the league table then, and you can see, Joelle, it's incredibly tight, isn't it? But again, a strong end to the first half of the season almost before the World Cup break would really propel us forwards.
Yeah, absolutely, and that starts tonight. I think 3 points tonight will certainly propel us into those next few games running up to the World Cup break. So a strong start, but we need to turn that strong start into a strong end to the first half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely, and St Johnstone today as well. Obviously we had a good record over the last 5 games, winning 4 of them, but they will be a difficult opponent. We've seen that historically, haven't we?
Yeah, of course. They're kind of coming into tonight's game on the back of 3 defeats, so they'll want to kind of stop that trend. They'll want to take something away from the game tonight, and they've got players capable to perform. They've got experienced players in Andy Considine, Liam Gordon at the back, Stevie May up top, so we really need to appreciate the quality that they will possess tonight.
Yeah, they've also got players that Hibs fans will know all too well as well. Dre Wright, Jamie Murphy, Melke Hallberg, the more recent 3 to obviously return to Easter Road.
Yeah, of course, and they'll want to return. I think they'll enjoy returning tonight, and they'll want to return and prove a point and take something away from the game. So yeah, we can't overlook that threat that not only those 3 players possess, but the squad in general.
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst you're here, we have to turn our attentions to the women's team as well. A fantastic win midweek. How pleased were you with that, first of all?
Extremely pleased, given it was a midweek game up in Peterhead, so not so pleased with the travel, but pleasing to bring the 3 points back down the road. So yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, how's the season been going for you guys this year?
Probably similar to kind of Lee's squad. It's kind of started slow, but we've picked up a bit of momentum now. We're kind of bedding in the players that joined us in the summer, and we're really showing positive signs because there is quality in the squad, and now I think you're seeing the fruits of that, and hopefully we can continue the fine vein of form that we're on.
Yeah, it's like every team, isn't it? There's always going to be, when there's a huge turnover in the squad, that little bit of time just to get to know each other, build those relationships up on the pitch.
Yeah, of course, and I think we had probably 50% of the squad kind of transitions, so that in itself kind of speaks volumes. But I think we're now at a point where we're fully bedded in, and we're all on the same kind of page.
Yeah, and a big game up next, the quarter-final of the League Cup.
Yeah, quarter-final of the League Cup on Sunday at Rugby Park against Kilmarnock. So it's a cliche, but every game is the biggest game of the season, and this is no different. So we've trained well this week, and we've recovered well this week, and we're all looking forward to that game on Sunday.
Absolutely. Well, that's all we have time for on the match build-up as we continue ahead of tonight's game against St Johnstone. Joelle, thank you very much for joining us. As I mentioned earlier on, supporters all over the world, that does include the UK, can watch tonight's game on Hibs TV. It's £10 on pay-per-view. And of course, you'll be able to hear again from Joelle a little bit later on. She's doing co-commentary with Cliff Pike. Thank you very much for watching.
Can't sleep at night.